Hi, I'm Eric. I fell on my phone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be reacting to The Glow Part 2 by The Microphones. This is my first Microphones reaction, but it is the second reaction I've had to Phil Elverum, I think that's how you pronounce it, because he is the mastermind behind Mount Erie, which I reacted to A Crow Looked at Me earlier this year. Not knowing it was all about what it's about. Yeah, that was a doozy. That was hard to go through and listen to it. And it is an album I don't return to because it's a lot. It took me a long time before I felt ready to get back into a project from him and like around him. I think The Microphones has like other people in it too, but I'm not quite sure about that actually. But this is The Glow Part 2, which was released in 2001, so 20 years in the past. And this is about apparently like a breakup with his like girlfriend at that time. So it's a past thing, very much a past thing. And I know I normally don't look up like what the overall theme of the album is going to be before I get into it, but I felt like that was necessary just so that I didn't like get into some trauma. I'm not in the mood for some trauma. I'm feeling a little under the weather actually, so if I sound weird or if something I say makes absolutely no sense or if you just see me drinking some tea, you'll understand. It is like over an hour long as well, so I'm going to probably keep some of my comments brief just so that I can get through it and also get to bed on time and just, take care of me. But I felt like I wanted to have an album right before bed. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what type of album like The Microphones would make when it's really not about the loss of someone he cares deeply about. Thank you for requesting this video, and anyway, let's get into it. Track number 1 is I Want Wind to Blow. Alright, still pretty stripped back. Okay, feels kind of natural and environmental. The thunder clouds. The clacking shutters just shut up. There's no black or white. There's no golden sun. Ooh, I like that percussion happening there. That's cool. Yeah, that part, that like kind of like rolls. I don't know, I just love it. Oh, this feels like a campfire song, but like a lot of people got some auxiliary percussion to go with it. Sweep me off my feet. It passed by me. There's no hope for me. Oh, we're depressed again. Feels like we might be speeding up a little bit. This is just a fun instrumental break. I'm grooving. Ooh, really just reduced it to just these drums. Now we're adding a guitar riff and some other stuff, I guess. This is waking me up. I'm not tired right now anymore. It almost sounds like thunder claps, or when someone walks up above, like on the first floor, because I'm filming in the basement. It's always super loud when someone walks above me. Oh my god, I just went into the next song. So that was I Want Wind to Blow. Alright, an album to start getting into. I vibed. Like, this was a good time. Like, it started with the calm voice of Phil, who I had just gotten used to of just hearing about him talk about his wife passing. And I'm glad we're talking about something else, that we can associate that voice as something new. And so it took me a little moment to get into that. But then I really enjoyed it, like this doom, 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 doom. Like that guitar riff was just really fun. Like, definitely felt warm and cozy. Something I need. Like, I kind of just need, like, a warm hug right now. I feel like that will make me feel physically better. And I liked that. And then it went into this instrumental break that lasted, I think, like half the song. So it was a good time there too. And then got like kind of thunderclappy, and like you got to hear all these different percussive elements. Like there was a lot going on in it, and I don't think I caught everything immediately, but it definitely is a song I enjoy. Like it gets me excited to see where we go next in this album. It feels definitely very natural, environmental. It seems like that's an inspiration for him, just because like I feel like he always talked about nature on A Crow Looked at Me, but he also like in this song most of the lyrics are like images of the outside, like the shutters shut up, the thunderclouds, like the where's the golden sun, it's not there. Like there's so much natural stuff. And even if I look at like some of these names ahead of time, like the moon, my roots are strong and deep, feels like he has that sort of natural connection. And I really find that really intriguing and something that I really want to dive into deeper. Track number 2 is The Glow Part 2, the album title. And you guys always request albums that just flow very easily into the next song, which I appreciate, but it's also hard to stop. And so I've heard the first few seconds and I'm already in shock. Like, what? Oh, it feels like we've changed that guitar like rhythm to the drums. Is this like electric guitar even? I'm fully not sure. I took my shirt off in the yard. The skin on my shoulders is golden. Now it's not, my shirt's back on. Alright, we've tracked it. The glow is gone. Ooh. I cannot get through September. I went in with my arms swinging against death. My face is red. Is my face red right now? It might be. I feel like it naturally just gets red, but it's been kind of pale today. Okay, hold that note, Phil. Your heartbeat is loud and slow. Okay, seems like we're building again. Ooh, I like where we're taking it. Can't see it, but my toes are like tapping right now. Feels like we keep rewriting it every like 8 bars. Oh, stop suddenly. So that was The Glow Part 2. I am intrigued by it. Like the beginning instrumental, like, oh, I want to hear that again. Like I think that will just sound great. We don't have the time tonight, but I will be listening to that again, and I will enjoy it. I think it'll be a good time. Yeah, I thought the song was interesting. The taking my shirt off in the yard, I got a little distracted. But like, it's about, you know, making his emotions like raw, and like no one saw it, unfortunately for them, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know if he's considered attractive. I have no idea. I literally don't know what he looks like. But like, yeah, the song is good. I don't really know what to say. Like, I think towards like the middle to the end, there was like a lot of lines I couldn't really recognize, and it was a lot about, I think, him like trying to face death. But it's really odd to hear this after the only other album I've heard from him being like Mount Erie's A Crow Looked at Me. You didn't face death then. If it's just about a relationship not working out, yeah, not really. There's, I guess A Crow Looked at Me is about a relationship not working out, but it's a much different way of it not working out. Like a much, much different way. So for me, the song does feel a little trivial in that sense. I mean, obviously you didn't have the perspective of 16 years down the line of being with a different person and caring so deeply about that person and then that happening. Like, no one can expect that, obviously. But, like, I don't know. It kind of took away from the song because I'm like, are you really going into death? You know, like it's just not like that big of a deal, I guess. The instrumental at the end is also really cool. Not as cool as the beginning of it, but overall, a song I definitely would listen to again and probably enjoy again. Track number 3 is The Moon. We continue with this acoustic guitar. I enjoy it. This album is definitely heavily instrumental, and like it just makes it feel like warm and cozy. That's a shift. Okay, we're going real fast. These fast drums are kind of everything. Oh, there's horns in there too. He's experimental. I went back to feel alive or alone. Yeah, this production makes the lyrics a little harder to decipher, but I like how he delivers them fast. I was happy to let you in. Ooh, the horns are being held now. I went out last night to forget. Oh. It all just cut out. Oh. Right before it ends, you hit a note. So that was The Moon, and I really like that song sonically. Lyrically, this is probably the last one I'm going to look up because otherwise I'm going to spend too much time on it and I'm not going to get enough sleep. And like I realize I need to value some sleep. But I just look at Genius lyrics anytime I'm looking up lyrics, so it's not really that big of a deal. Just like look at Genius lyrics if you need some more clarity, some more analysis on it. But like I'll give you my reaction. And I like this one a lot. I like how upbeat it was. I liked how like it just felt like a drive in a car. And I mean, I think he's talking about like, you know, traveling. And he's traveling to all the places that he and his ex went together when they were together. And like he wanted to feel like what it felt like to be like alone there. And I guess as a sort of like sense of closure. And I get that. Like I know people who have gone to like stand outside just for a moment, like the apartment of like their ex, not to stalk them. Don't stalk your exes, please don't. But like just to feel like that location and like change that memory and change it from the feeling of like something exciting to something not exciting. I mean, I know that's a coping mechanism. I choose to typically relive like the happy memories with exes and people who I'm no longer like friends with, like people from my past. Like I feel like for me, I like to, you know, be like, okay, those are happy times. We can have happy times with other people. Like very much a evermore. There'll be happiness after you, but there was happiness because of you. And I like living in that duality. And I do like the song. I just keep thinking about how sonically, I like how upbeat it is. I didn't expect it to be upbeat, given how like pretty acoustic this album is. I know we get into some drums, and I think there might have been an electric guitar at one point, so it's not fully acoustic, but at the same time, like I felt like it was just like a nice little like indie rock moment, and I had a good time. Track number 4 is Headless Horseman. We're keeping it acoustic. He's on the ground. I wish you the best of luck. I'll return from my trip to hell as a headless horseman. Went back to get my stuff. It's a closure. My soft hands replaced by claws. Oh, she's moved on. This guitar riff sounds a little like Riptide by Vance Joy. We are officially out of tea. It's a precious thing we lost. So it was Headless Horseman. It was a chill little, I don't know. I felt almost like ukulele or acoustic guitar. I don't really know. But it felt, I realized the more I listened to it, the more it sounded like Riptide. I know that the song came before it. Did Riptide sample us? I don't know. I feel like it felt similar. But this song is just about him realizing that he's being replaced. Like his ex has replaced him. And his soft hands are replaced by claws. So it seems like he is a much more gentle human, and this new guy is definitely much more of a tough guy. And so, interesting. You know, switching types, I guess, or not really caring about types. That also can work. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I like the song. It was nice. Like, it was definitely much more of a background sound than I feel like the few before it. I feel like the few before it all had something that like made me like jump, you know? And this one, it's just like chill. It's a cozy little time. Like, feel bad for him. He'll find another. Yeah, it definitely, you know, he seems so serious on this album, really. Like, he seems so serious for someone who, like, it's just a relationship and it's a breakup. I mean, I don't know the details of it. I don't know how long they had been together for. I really have no idea. But, you know, I guess this is part of his healing process, and I'll respect that. Track number 5, My Roots Are Strong and Deep. Ooh, rainstorm time. Ooh, something's coming in here. My feet are on the ground. He's definitely very grounded and uses on the ground a lot in this album. Ooh, I like the cymbal edition. Hot lava hair? What? So it was My Roots Are Strong and Deep, and a very short number. I guess Phil is a tree here. And he's like, yes, I'm a tree, my roots are strong and deep. And he wants to connect with this other being, but that being is trapped inside the core of hot lava hair. They're fundamentally different things because lava is very different than a tree. And I feel like if lava and a tree come together, only one of them is going to survive that. So, yeah, I guess it's connecting it to the breakup, like thinking, oh, I wanted us to be together, but we are just too different. I mean, opposites attract, but here it's too much. That we're too fundamentally different. And yeah, I like a good nature metaphor. He does those a decent amount. I like them every time. Track number 6 is instrumental. Okay, we had like a few seconds of like some other crazy stuff at the end of the last track. Now we're chill again. Man, I knew this was gonna be an instrumental, but is it really just one instrument? Oh, switch it up, okay. That's snapping? Okay. So a suspended cymbal roll on a commercial album? Anything can happen. So it was instrumental. It's an instrumental. It was cool. Very much works within the themes of this album, of the chill acoustic, but then randomly switching up without warning. Yeah, starts halfway his guitar, and then we add some snaps, make it a little jazzy. There's been some moments where I've been like, this feels reminiscent of jazz, and I'm wondering if that will continue on. I don't really know, but it was an instrumental. I like it. I'm not gonna listen to it outside the context of the album, but I didn't like hate it or anything. It was there. Track number 7 is The Mansion. Very much ambient noise now. This feels like when you're trying to set up for a song and like tune. Okay, I feel like I hear some very fast guitar strumming. Okay, the suspense is eating me alive. And halfway through the song, we're finally getting Phil's voice. There's no place to feel certain. There's no fingers in my hair. Oh. The peak is wide and rocky. There's no ceiling in the mansion. Ooh, that sounds dangerous. Ooh. Kind of how we started with like sitting down and then getting back up. Oh, it just faded right in very calmly. So that was the mansion. It was a chill song. Like, it's basically him just like lamenting again. But here he's like, yeah, there's no morning, there's no crack of dawn, there's no ceiling in the mansion. It's a kind of like a list of the things that there's not because of like the relationship is over. And like there's no fingers in my hair. There's just a lot of the things that, you know, he misses. And like some, you know, natural metaphors and metaphors with inanimate objects to, you know, help him share how he feels after this. And yeah, I mean, it was a vibe, I guess. I don't know. It was weird because half the song feels like it's like warming up for him. And then like the last 30 seconds are kind of like that again. So it's kind of like difficult to like pinpoint, oh, how much of this is like the real song versus like interluding into the song. So it's okay. I need to hear it again. I don't know how much I vibe with it, but like the parts that felt like the real song felt good. Just, you know, him being sad, his mopey self. And yeah, so it was cool. Track number 8 within parentheses, something ominous about like this one sound coming in. Feels like that mansion was actually haunted and the ghosts are being let out. I'm so confused if I've actually heard much. That something ended? Huh. So that was in parentheses something. And was that really something? That kind of felt like I watched Mark the Snare like the other day. Like his April Fool's prank from a couple years ago was pretending to be a reaction channel. And the first thing he reacted to was 4 minutes and 33 seconds, which is just when they like turn the sheet music, but otherwise it's silent. They're not playing the music. And I guess the music itself is just a bunch of rests. And, like, for me, like, there were a couple notes that were played, but I guess they were so soft that even my speaker was like, what is this? And maybe in headphones, I'll be like, oh, there is actually something that's like really like creative and exciting. And I'll let you know on the screen, like if that was the case. But for now, like, I don't really feel like I got much. It feels like something, you know, when I talk about like hyper pop and I'm like, oh my God, there's too much going on for me to fully grasp it. I felt like this is the opposite, where there's just like not even something really detectable. And yeah, it's an interesting extreme to get to. Okay. Track number 9 is in parentheses something dash 1. Is this like a second copy of it? Is this actually gonna have something? Who knows? Feels a little more staticky. I definitely can detect stuff now. Okay, it feels like kind of just a distorting amp. It's getting louder and louder. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm trying to figure out if it's just more of a distorted amp or if there's a lot of instruments going here that I can't tell. There's definitely more going on. It's all jumbled together though, so I can't fully decipher. And just as it came in, it's really definitely faded back. Ooh, now we get the note I think we heard a couple songs ago. that a recurring motif? Just playing a note and just letting it hold. Oh, and we hear it one more time. 2 notes. Escalating. So that was in parentheses something dash 1. Better than the first one. Is this considered the first one because it's a dash 1? What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't really know. Huh. Yeah, I vibed with this one more. For some reason, I really like it, actually. I don't really know. I feel like it was an instrumental that was made for me. I don't know. There's some sort of catharsis in it when it got to that top, and you just like let it fade out because it feels to me, and maybe this is just because I heated up tea, is that like when the tea kettle like is starting to scream at me, because I don't think it really whistles. I think it actually is screaming at me, at least my tea kettle. And then as soon as I take it off the heat, it just shuts up. So it kind of felt like that a little bit to me, that we just got that experience of it rising and then like falling. And yeah, it was a good time. I had fun with it. Yeah, it gets me intrigued for the rest of the album because we're roughly approaching the halfway point, and it feels weird to say that. And I don't really know what to make of why I feel that way. Track number 10 is I'll Not Contain You. Here we go again. This guitar. I'll Not Contain You, the song title. I won't look for you in my room. That was kind of weird to say. Ooh, drum hits. Alright. A blurry place where we hotly radiate. Oh, it stopped pretty suddenly. So that was I'll Not Contain You. And it's really just about giving your partner some space. That's pretty much just what it is. Like, I mean, there's not a lot of lyrics in this song. Like, it's also a short song. And it really just is about, you know, I'm not going to contain you. I'm not going to look for you in my room. Like, I realized pretty much that I can't just keep reaching out to you. Like, you want some space. I don't know if this is during or after the breakup, because I understand that some of these songs might be before the full-on breakup happens, or maybe this is very early in the breakup where he thinks that they could get back together, but he just doesn't want to, like, fully admit it to himself that it's fully over. But he wants to give that space and give that, at least that temporary pass to her. But yeah, I don't know. The song definitely gives off the energy of the Some Things in the Mansion before. We definitely have gone a little further from like reality, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like the first 2 songs are very much like talking about the details of what's going on around and, you know, seeing her new man and everything like that. And now we're very much at this point of just like kind of spiraling a little bit. Like, he's definitely devolving a little bit, and like the fact of the I'll Not Contain You and other lines like getting just like casually sung in the back at the end, it was confusing, but it definitely, I think, reflects his mental state at the time. So yeah, I feel like the microphones / just Phil in general, he has a very distinct style that I feel like you can't attribute to anyone else. Track number 11 is The Gleam Part 2. Oh, it's a little more heavy-handed. This feels like how I felt when I was just trying to learn some chords. Oh, whatever, is that a piano or something like that? I like that. I feel like we've changed the speed. Phil, if you think I can understand a word you're saying with this production, you got another thing coming. Send smoke into the sky, sending smoke signals. I saw your future in my sleep. Wonder what that future was. So that was the Gleam part 2. What a production. Quarter notes. Down, 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 down. Bop. See, this is me. I have a weird music taste. I like this song a lot for how that production was. I really don't know what he was saying. It's probably something about the breakup. I don't know. That your future in my sleep. I don't really know what that's supposed to be about. That seems weird, but go off, I guess. Yeah, for me, like this production was just kind of fun. It reminded me a little bit of FU from Willow, off of her Lately I Feel Everything. Just like how stripped back to the core emotion of it all. Yeah, I mean, I think this one has more musical addition to it, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like the FU was just really them messing around in the studio, whereas this is like very intentional, but gives the same feeling, just like this rawness and just like this not aggression, but just this like intense emotion. I feel like it's not aggression because I don't think he's gonna like act on it and be like, "How dare you?" But like more of a just like, "I am feeling so many things." Yeah, that's a cathartic song. I like that. I'll listen to that again for sure. Track number 12 is Map. Very ambient. There you go. This kind of feels like a sunrise of sorts. Okay, quick drum hits. This doesn't sound like Phil's voice. Okay, the drum is getting a little funkier. This definitely feels like a more feminine voice than I think Phil is capable of. Wait, you turn this into like a full-on bop. Okay, groovy. Let's go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, I feel the drums. They're working overtime, honestly. Are they screaming? Okay. We're doing a similar groove, but it's a little different. Oh, I think that's either mallet percussion or piano. And I like it either way. Okay. Drum moment at the end of the song. Ooh, like one of those like, I don't know, like feels like glass like hitting you through music. So that was Map. And alright, that was a song. That was distinctly a song. I can like hear the whole song in my head. I just don't know how to describe it, if that makes sense. Like I'm hearing like that piano mallet percussion doing like all that. Like it's a good time. The drums do some great work here. There's apparently some bagpipes. I did look this up because I was trying to figure out if there was someone else singing with Phil. And there's not. At least not on Genius Lyrics. Like, that didn't sound like Phil. But if it is, congrats, Phil. You got range. All right. So, I mean, lyrically, it also continues the themes that were on, like, the Gleam Part 2, where it was just, like, you know, there's the mountains and the peaks and just, like, trying to overcome everything. And it doesn't seem like he is. Poor guy. But, yeah. The song, I enjoy it. There's a lot going on in it. And it's something that I know will sound so much better in headphones. So I think I want to wait to, like, really dive in deep with that. But it definitely caught my attention as like a track that he's really doing a lot on, and he's not trying to understate it. Track number 13 is You'll Be in the Air. You'll Be in the Air. What was that? Strength and severity. I feel like that was a little more understated than the previous time. Or maybe it just caught me less off guard. What? Is that Phil? He really can sing if he tries. Okay, sir. Pay no mind to me, I'm just holding Snorlax. Feels like there's some natural sound in there, like crickets or something. Pick out your resounding roar. You'll bear arms in the heat. Oh, there you go. So is you'll be in the air. I feel like it's straightforward to some extent if you can actually hear all the lyrics. Yeah, it's just about her being on a plane. She's leaving. And he'll pick out her resounding roar, not because she can be really loud or talk loudly or, you know, roar like a lion. It's just the plane. Yeah, she's moved on. He has not. It's clear. And yeah, it was a chill song. I mean, there's some parts where it got like a little more intense, but like there's just been like higher highs on this project. There's been lower lows, like parts that I don't really care that much for. This is just like solidly there, if that makes sense. Track number 14 is I Want to Be Cold. I do not. I've been cold all day. So cannot relate, Phil, but I will listen to your song anyway. Dang, you make me want to be cold, Phil. I don't want to leave. Yeah, it's clear. What is this, like, really? I think this is rock, actually. How can you, like, sing that calmly on a production like this? I want to be cold. That's the first lyric I feel like I fully have grasped. Oh. You just wanted to cut it all out? I hope your flames don't grow. Oh, this song is short. I didn't realize. So that was I Want to Be Cold. I had a good time. That gave me Townie Mitski vibes. I had fun with that. Yeah, I did. Yeah, overall enjoyable. I mean, it's about him wanting to not be alive, but like, oh well, whatever. Like, yeah, I like it. It sounded like that aggressive, like, you know, sound. And he was angry, I guess. Maybe? I don't really know. I think he doesn't want her pity. He wants to be cold and let alone while she's just like, you know, burning and having a good time. You know, she's on fire and all that. My favorite part is I did look it up just to check on it, just to see how it was. And like apparently the last line in the song, it was like you drew a heart with an arrow and it shot right past or something like that. And I like that because it's a lyric from an unreleased version of a song from a band where his ex was in. I don't know if it was this ex, but like an ex. So that's petty. And I love that. I love him being a little petty here because like, yeah, I mean, otherwise I feel like he's been taking like a very like, oh, she's so great. And like, not that he messed up, but he's gonna mope in that sadness that like he lost someone he cared about. And now he's like, ah. And yeah, I had fun. Track number 15 is I Am Bored. I'm not bored with this project yet, but maybe a song of him feeling bored might make me bored. Oh, we're continuing some intensity. But now I'm bored. So something interesting happened, but I could not decipher that. With glassy eyes locked in contact on the couch with you. We lost touch. Horn. Okay. Or is that just distorted electric guitar? I'm really bad at instrument picking out. You'd think that someone with perfect pitch would be able to tell what's a guitar and what's a horn. It's hard. Oh, that was already the end of that song. And we get this note again. So that was I Am Bored. And actually, it's not just him being bored after the breakup happened. It's him being bored towards the end of the breakup. And him realizing they're losing touch and they both know what they have to do now. So I guess it makes it sound like more mutual. If it's that mutual, like, I didn't expect this type of Moby album. But, alright. It was a song, again. Like, I liked parts of it, but again, I mean, when your 15 track is deep, it's gonna be a little tiring, especially when it's like the time that it is and you drank a whole cup of mint herbal tea. Like, I'm feeling like all cozy and I'm ready to sleep. But like, I'm not bored of this song. It's fine, but it didn't like wow me. Track number 16 is I Felt My Size. Never felt the dawn. Quirky. I'm kind of digging it. Okay, so you're gonna get a little indie rock vibe after having that, like chaos. I hurt my eyes in the painful, powerful sky. I felt my size as you saw all the cars pass by in the sky and all that. I just wanted more. Oh, so that is Phil. He just is like belting it out in a way that just doesn't sound like him. Oh. That note comes back every gosh darn time. You know I was gonna say something else, but we don't do that. We're on monetization. So that was I Felt My Size, and this is just like a humbling song. I think it's just him realizing, yo, I'm not as big and important as I want to be. Because, like, I mean, he keeps comparing himself to nature and all that, and he wants there to be something more, but he realizes he's just like this guy. He sees like these giant cars on the freeway, like racing past, going so much faster than like, I mean, I guess he could really run. And then the sky, you know, big, a beautiful canvas, if you will. Like, yeah, he's not really that important. Like, in the grand scheme of things, none of us are. And that's just wild, you know, to think like that. Because, like, you're in your head and you have your brain, like, all the time. And, you know, it's the idea of being the main character or not. And, like, trying to feel like if you, like, really are that giant to the world. And there are some people who are larger than life, for sure. And there are people we hold on a pedestal. But, like, at the end of the day, we all are humans just existing. And, yeah. I like the song for its message. It takes a little bit of away from, like, the breakup, like, focus. I mean, I think it's also him after the breakup realizing that he is, like, you know, insignificant. Like, he's coping with that as well. And trying to realize that this might not be the end of the world, because the end of the world is not going to happen when he's sad or when he's just like moping, or even probably when he passes on. Like, it's going to keep on turning. So I guess it kind of makes it feel a little lesser in some sort of way. Track number 17 is Instrumental 2. This does feel like reminiscent of the first one, but a little built up. I feel like a lot of this, I mean, this isn't 3/4, but I feel like a lot of this project might also be in 3/4. Ooh. It's getting a little, like, screechy. Ooh. What is that high noise? Where's that coming from? Oh, is that humming in it? That's not an instrumental, Phil. So that was Instrumental 2. Phil, that wasn't an instrumental. You hummed. I get that. It's a non-lyrical vocal, something we've been very familiar with on some other, not related to this project at all, projects. But yeah, It was a time. It was an instrumental. I'm not gonna listen to it outside of the context of the album. I have no reason to, but it wasn't offensive. It was just there. It was a vibe. I liked it better than the first instrumental. Yeah, I would say it kind of mixes the two somethings together as well. Yeah, I had fun. Track number 18 is I Felt Your Shape. This is the last of our shorter songs. This is under 2 minutes. Okay. Maybe because it's picking it up a little bit. I thought I felt your shape, but I was wrong. I had no sense of your size. I felt the rise and fall of your chest. Your lava flow. Bring you back to earlier. Loss was overwhelming. My nights are cold. And there you go. So that was I Felt Your Shape. And the song is about hugging. That's what Genius Lyrics told me, and I think it makes sense because that's how you feel your shape. And it gets that difference of the squeezing tightly and your eyes are closed, like you really just like clinging onto them. It's kind of a need and just an like, like a reflex, I guess. Whereas like just hugging someone calmly, like and having your eyes open, just everything like you can really take in like with your senses and you can really like understand how they're feeling and how like they are versus like I feel like squeezing as much as I enjoy being squeezed by someone I care about, like there's a difference between like, oh, like I like that for like the physical contact versus like I feel like if you're relaxed about it, you get to notice more things about the other person. And I don't think that squeezing tightly necessarily makes you selfish or anything, but like it's more like catering towards that feeling that you want that tightness or you want to hold someone tight versus like you want to learn more about and explore your partner. And yeah, I like this is a nice song. I enjoyed the song. It's kind of happy in a sort of way that where it's like they could be together. They're not, but they could be. Track number 19, Samurai Sword. Let it all out, Phil. Just feel like something dash one has like just exploded. Oh, he started singing, but I have no idea what he said. Touching you? Is that what he whispered? Oh, that's a noise that is taking over. It's that note, that recurring motif. Oh, you're gonna keep it silent for a little bit. Bring that note back. I see you. A third time's the charm. Ooh, here's some production in the background as well. By production, I mean like a little rock and cymbal. I think it's gone now. Ooh, sounds like a door knocking. So that was Samurai Sword, and alright, let it out, Phil. He really did. Alright. His ex is a polar bear, and he gonna kill that polar bear. Hopefully that's not too literal of a metaphor you play with, Phil. But apparently he seems to lose in the end, because he feels still. Samurai Phil. Alright. I don't really know what to make of the song in terms of the lyrics. I'm gonna just ignore them, frankly. I think it's just like him being angry at his ex. We get it. We've been there. But I think I like the production of it. I think it's fun. The last like minute of it being that note. Is that like his heartbeat? Actually, wait, that makes it more interesting. That just is an idea that came to me. Because like throughout the album we would have like doom, like I can even recreate it. Doom, that an F? I think that is. I don't know if that means anything. I feel like Phil wouldn't be the type to create the lyrical messaging and tie it to what key he's in. But yeah, we've really had that whole doom like at the end of a few of the songs throughout the record, and we got it a couple of times back. And then this one we had like 5 or 6 of them. So maybe it's leading into our final song. I don't know. I would like to see some payoff from hearing that note that many times. Track number 20, last track on this album, My Warm Blood. It is nearly 10 minutes. Brace yourselves. I'm bracing myself as well. Oh, we had that note, but then kind of just tore away. Oh, it's dark. The power's still out. My blood barely flows. Oh, is this like a continuation from Samurai Sword where he like is not living? I'm alone. Makes sense. My red blood is warm still. Oh yeah, so they're gonna feed on you? Okay, we're back to that note. I feel like the gaps are getting longer. There's like some staticky noises. Is he just really just fading away? I've turned it up because I don't think it's going to get louder otherwise. Yeah, other than that, it just feels very staticky, and like I took a voice recording out in nature. Yeah, we're only halfway through. Unless something changes, I feel like this is where we're at. Okay, we do have some guitar playing. I don't think there's anything new here, guitar-wise. I feel like it's echoes of earlier songs. Yeah, it definitely has gotten, the gaps have gotten bigger, but I feel like the sound has gotten louder. The louder sound there could just be because I turned up my speaker though. I felt like I heard a little bit of his voice, but I'm not fully sure. It feels like someone's walking. Oh my god. That sounded like a heartbeat. And then it got stopped suddenly. It's so subtle now that I feel like I can't tell what's like just a sound echoing in my house and what's coming from the speaker. The heartbeat feels like it's come back. Oh my god. It just cut out. And then that's the end of the album. That was My Warm Blood. What was that, Phil? Phil, what was that? What was that? So the 2 albums I've now heard from you is one of your wife passing on, which again, rest in peace for sure. And then this other one is you like dying of a broken heart. Actually, I'm not mad at Phil. I'm mad at y'all who keep requesting me to listen to sad albums where the person dies at the end. Like, can you stop that? Like, what is that about? Okay, like, this song in particular, I get it in terms of the context of the album, I guess. But I felt like we hadn't followed through a linear trajectory on the album. So I got kind of confused about it because clearly I understand the Samurai Sword to My Warm Blood connection. Like, it continues very similarly and it makes sense. But at the same time, I don't need this 9.5 minute song where it's just that. That's just eerie. I get that we'll soon get into Mount Eerie for sure. So for me, I'm like, you know, I'm in a weird state because I'm like, I mean, I'm not gonna listen to this song its entirety after like one more listen in preparation for editing and publishing this video. Like, I'm not going to do that. I might listen to it within the context of the album, but I also don't know how much of this album I want to fully return to. I will like certain songs on this album, but I don't know if I'm going to really want to listen to the whole hour and 6 minutes, especially with so many of those breaks that are like the dome. Like, it's not that exciting to me in that regard. But like, this song is kind of like the epitome of like, let's just get eerie and just like have like these background sounds as my character passes on. He was dramatic, wasn't he? Like, I mean, I read, he was like, yeah, I really was dramatic about being like, I'm facing death. And I was just like young and, you know, mopey about like this relationship not working out. Like, it was not that big of a deal, not a big whoop. But he turned it into something that was very melodramatic, and I applaud him for going down that route. I feel like if you go through that route through like your music, like, it's a lot better than, you know, taking those emotions and like really putting them into reality. Like, a lot better for all people involved if you just like channel that into a character and draw inspiration from that. And he definitely drew that inspiration. And like, it's interesting to see that this is the ending that his character goes through. I don't know how he feels about it now, like the dying of a broken heart kind of vibe. I don't know how he feels about it now. I don't really know much about him. Like, I know actually way too much from A Crow Looked at Me, but other than that, I don't really like know him that well. So it's an interesting way to end. For me, if your longest song is not like the magnum opus of the song, and I mean like a long song, like a 9.5 minute, or like an 8 minute or a 10 minute, like, if it's not like something super like, I don't know, attention grabbing, and I guess like the message of it, like, is passing on, like, that is attention grabbing, but it's not attention grabbing in the same way that like Runaway from Kanye West is the first thing that popped in my head of a long song I will listen to the entirety of. Or even like, not even one that I like listen to all that much, but like even with like Utopia from Bjork, when she does the Body Memory song, like, there's a lot going on in it, and it definitely holds my attention much more than this one did. And yeah, I was just kind of waiting for this song to be over, it feels like. And I just, yeah, it's 9.5 minutes, and I get it that it's supposed to like feel like a really long time, but at the same time, I don't really know how invested I was in the story to begin with. I think I just have to listen to the album like start to finish and like really vibe with it to really derive a lot of meaning out of this last song. With that said, we have finished this album, and wow, you started me with an album I thought was like kind of cozy with like a little experimental twist, and then it gets all super dramatic at some point, and I'm like, okay, I didn't expect that. I don't know. I feel like I wish I hadn't listened to Crow Looked at Me first for like going into this, because if I hadn't, if I had really like listened to, oh, this is like a breakup album with this guy and it's kind of melodramatic, like, that's fine. I like a good melodrama, you know, a Lord moment, like, we love that. Yeah, like, I wish I had done that, because I know what his actual biggest pain that he's probably had in his entire life is. And like, it's kind of hard to go back and listen to, oh, this is how I feel about a breakup, no, like, you know, and then get into like, oh shoot, I found someone that I deeply care about, I have a kid with her, and then like she passes on because of cancer. Like, that's a lot. Like, it's really hard to listen to a whole album of that in general, but it's also hard to listen to that and then like deeply connect and deeply feel bad for him in The Glow Part 2, because like I want to, but it's hard because of that context. The songs, however, are a little bit like something I would more like to listen to. Like I like a good cathartic moment. I like a good, I'm a little angry or I'm a little mopey. Like I like a good moment of that. And I think this album provides many moments of that. I think it's kind of bloated because 20 songs is a lot. Regardless of how many of them are really short, like 20 songs is a lot to go through. And I feel like there's a lot of them that just don't grab my attention as much. Like a lot of the instrumentals don't. And then you also have like these instrumental moments like that are pretty long, like a minute long intro into your 4-minute song. Like that's gonna like not keep me hooked and not fully know which song I'm in, which is fine. I get that. That's a stylistic choice and I'll allow that. But for me, I don't know. It's not trying to be any way like have a hit. But there are songs on here that I do enjoy, and I know that there's gonna be songs I vibe with. And I could also see myself listening to a shorter version of the album. I feel like if I cut some songs myself, probably some of those instrumentals, and I'm not gonna listen to the whole 9.5 minutes long song, I'm just not going to do it. But if I trimmed off some of these parts I don't feel like continue to the message, I feel like I could sit down, you know, by like a little fire. I don't have like a fireplace that like we use, but you know, be by a fire, like listen to this guy, like deal with his breakup, you know. Also, like the way that he sings, very distinct. I thought that was just a very much a like a crow looked at me thing. No, he sings like that. Like he sings very like he speaks singing the whole time. And when you have production like that, I'm like, I cannot hear you, sir. Like I want to hear you. Trust me, I do. But you're really not making it easy in any way. And like there's some parts where he like really like shows off emotion by like singing very differently, and I just didn't expect it to be him. Like I fully expected it to be someone completely different. And I wish he had done that a little bit more on the album. I wish that was a more continued thing. And if he does have a project in which he sings more, I feel like I'd be more invested in that project because it shows me that you have that emotion. I get that he's like feeling numb or something like that, but I don't know. If you want me to really like feel bad in your cathartic songs, like these are songs that definitely still hit an indie rock note where you could scream, you can sing. Like it's not like you're fully stripped back all the time. And I get that it works for the stripped back part. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about when it's like really like hard hitting, at least for me. And he's just like da 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 da. Like I can't hear you. I'm sorry. I want to hear you. I can't. So all in all, I think that this record, it's a project I am pleasantly surprised by. It's something I would want to return to, which is not something I necessarily thought might be the case. And I'm glad that it's something I can return to. I think there are parts of it that aren't necessarily my thing, and that's totally okay. I was like 1 or 2 when this came out, so he wasn't thinking of me when he put out this album. He really wasn't. So I'm okay with that. I had a good time, honestly. I feel like this was a good time. Like I felt good even though like I was sick. I think the power of this album just like surprising me and my mint tea, like together, they worked together. They really were like, we're gonna come through and make sure Eric has a great rest of his day. With that said, here are some of my favorites. So the top tier are the songs that I love, the standouts, the ones I'm gonna be playing over and over. Songs in the middle are songs that I like. I'll add them to my playlist, but they might not be the top of the top. And songs at the bottom are just not really my thing. Doesn't mean they're a bad song, doesn't mean they can't be your favorite. Just means it's probably not for me. It could be an instrumental that I feel like I don't need to listen to outside of the album, or maybe a song that's too long, or a song that just didn't hit the right way. If you like this video, please like it, comment down below, check when you're after listening to next week, subscribe to my channel if you're not already and you'd like to be, and thanks for watching. This is TurtleStormer, catch you later.
It's storming turtles from out of the sky. Turtles, don't need to know why. Smile big, open your eyes. It's storming turtles from out of big, open